Good evening. I'm here doing the week 3 milestone turn-in for the PCC2 project for the animal sculpt. Earlier this week, I sent in some progress submission stuff to see if I was going in the right direction. And I just kind of kept working just to kind of figure things out, make sure I was kind of headed in the right direction, hoping that I was. So I just kind of kept working on what I had, kind of tweaking it, revising it, and going from there. I know that I should probably be further along, but it kind of took me a while just to kind of like figure out exactly how it should look, because I've got all kinds of different images of grizzly bears, and each one kind of looks different from the other, which, I mean, all grizzly bears are not exactly identical, so trying to find the right proportion and ratio is a little bit difficult, especially to the size of the back legs to the front. Trying to figure out how the skin, or how basically a hairless bear should look, because, I mean, there's not many pictures out there of grizzly bears without fur. The only hairless or furless bears I've found are black bears, or these. They were strange. I believe they're from New Zealand, but they're New Zealand hairless bears. But they have a different body shape than the actual grizzly bear does. So I moved on from there. Just kind of went through and knocked back the model some more. Tried to define more of what it might look like without fur, so more of the musculature and the skin over that, and then just the definition aside from the rib cage, which sits about right here, and then the change from the muscle to the fat that hangs down on the belly. I did hit a block. I hit kind of a wall. So I was going through doing the sides, kind of trimming back everything, making sure the proportions of the head fit, making sure everything was done with that. As I rotated around the model and started working on different things, I was kind of realizing that it was getting a little difficult with my bear in this pose right here, this straight up and down pose right here, to really kind of gauge how those muscle groups should, I guess, contract and stretch, and how they should look. Like, I know where they should sit, but trying to get those where they should be in this view is kind of difficult. So, like, for instance, the underside view here, you've got like the chest muscles and the neck muscles that come down here, and the chest muscles up here, and then you've got a bunch of big abdomen muscles, but you're kind of trying to squish them between four legs, and try to figure out how to overlap those without them looking strange. So I moved on from that to, I figured I might be able to get a better handle on how things would be modeled and how they should look in terms of no fur on a bear if I went ahead and just posed it. I know you wanted me to wait. I wanted to go through and get it posed and then take a look at how the proportions of the legs and everything should look. I feel like I was able to get a little bit better understanding of it. So I know that I've got to go back and rework the top paws. This one's, they're not looking the best, so I've got to add some more detail to them. And then I want to add some more skin detail on top of that, since my fur's not working out, and I might just do X-Gen and Maya. But I wanted to get the pose of my bear down, and make sure I got all the major muscle forms, kind of moving how they should go, and looking how they should, and then making sure he's standing correctly, like standing to where he can balance himself, like a bear would actually stand. And then it was tricky too, getting the whole rotation of the neck and the back, and how those muscles should, how all that should line up. So but I have that there. It's the back. I have him standing up, and then I was trying to blend the muscles and get the definition out and the basic shape as much as I could, knocking that back without it looking too deconstructed. This whole area right here is definitely tricky because of how the shoulder blades move and how the arm muscles sit compared to that. I think I might need to bring this down, this in a little bit, because I figured it looks like it might be sticking up too much, or something here. I might need to bring this head back in just a little bit like this. So like this right here, I might need to kind of shift this back slightly, just like that, which would, I'd move the teeth and everything back, but I can work on that this week. I really hope that, you just kind of give me an idea of what I did right, things I did wrong, if I should have stayed in the on all fours pose, if this is a believable pose, like if this will work, how everything's looking in terms of anatomy, and just kind of trying to get a gauge of where I'm sitting at in total, overall. I will make sure that both of these bears are in the same file. That way you're not having to go between two. That's where I'm at for this week. I know that this week is finishing up, and I'm going to have them try and have some eye textures put together, so that I can actually get some decent looking eyeballs. And then I've got to do the topology and the UVs for all of these pieces, so the teeth and the body itself. And then I've got to stick it all into Maya and get my materials made, just for my basic render, to get that all set up for final turn in this week. But I look forward to hearing from you guys soon, and just figuring out where I'm at overall with this thing and what I need to fix and work on. But thank you, and hope you have a good night.